Metatarsal phalangeal joint flexion. So for the testing position, you place the individual in supine or in sitting, with the ankle and foot in 0 degrees of dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, inversion, and 0 degrees of eversion. Position the MTP joint in 0 degrees of abduction and adduction, and the IP joints in 0 degrees as well of flexion and extension. So we need to stabilize the metatarsal to prevent plantar flexion of the ankle and inversion or eversion of the foot. Do not hold the MTP joints of the other toes in extension because tension in the transverse metatarsal ligament will restrict the motion. For the normal end-feel, the end-feel is firm. Why? Because of the tension in the dorsal joint capsule and the collateral ligaments. Tension in the extensor digitorum brevis may contribute to the firm end-feel.
Center fulcrum over the dorsal aspect of the MTP joint. The proximal joint is over the dorsal midline of the metatarsal, while the distal arm is over the dorsal midline of the proximal phalanx. In this video, we'll be using an alternative alignment for easier use. So fulcrum will be over the medial aspect of the first MTP joint. Proximal arm is with the medial midline of the first metatarsal, while the distal arm is with the medial midline of the proximal phalanx of the first toe. Move the great toe downward toward the plantar surface into flexion by pushing on the proximal phalange. Avoid pushing on the distal phalanx and causing interphalangeal flexion.
Afternoon, I'll be doing metatarsophalangeal joint extension. So the normal range of motion for this is 0 to 70 degrees, and the position is supine or in sitting. And then for the stabilization, it will be the metatarsal to prevent dorsiflexion, inversion or eversion of the foot. And then the end feel will be firm because of the tension of your flexor digitorum brevis, your flexor hallucis brevis, your flexor digitorum, your plantar joint capsule, and your plantar pad. And then the plane and axis is sagittal axis or coronal plane. Then the fulcrum will be your dorsal aspect of your MTP joint, and then the proximal arm will be the dorsal midline of your metatarsal, and then the distal arm will be the dorsal midline of your proximal phalanx of your first metatarsal joint.
This is firm because of the collateral ligaments, the adductor hallucis, and the palmar epirocyle. So, we can perform active range of motion for this because normally we can abduct our first toe away. We can and then stabilize it on the metacarpal here. Fulcrum will be placed on the dorsal aspect of the first M joint. The proximal arm will be on the dorsal midline of the metacarpal, and then the distal arm will be on the proximal phalanx of the first toe.
Adduction of the metatarsophalangeal joint. Motion appears in the transverse plane around the vertical
you have to place the individual in supine position with knee extended and foot in 0 degrees inversion and inversion. So in stabilization, we have to hold the knee in full extension and apply weight of the limb and hand pressure on the anterior leg. For testing motion, we have to dorsiflex the ankle to the end of the ROM by pushing upward across the plantar surface of the metatarsal heads. Next, the anvil is firm owing to tension in the gastrocnemius muscle. So, we have to place the fulcrum over the lateral aspect of the lateral malleolus. So, for the proximal arm, we have to place lateral midline of the fibula using the head of the fibula as our reference. For the distal arm, we have to place parallel to the lateral aspect of the 5th metatarsal. So, the interpretation is, if the gastrocnemius is short, it limits ankle dorsiflexion when the knee is in extension. If dorsiflexion is limited, regardless of whether the knee is flexed or extended, the limitation is due to abnormalities of the ankle joint, such as shortening of the joint capsules and other things.
Today I'll be talking about gastrocnemius lengthening test in standing or weight-bearing position. So the testing position for this test is standing with knee extended and the foot in 0 degrees inversion and inversion. The foot is in line with the lower leg and knee. The individual stands facing a wall or examining table, which can be used for balance and support. So for the stabilization, maintain the knee in full extension and ensure the heel remains in total contact with the floor. The examiner may assist by holding the heel in contact with the floor. So for the testing motion, the individual dorsiflexes the ankle by leaning the body forward. The end of the testing motion occurs when the individual feels tension in the posterior calf and knee. And further ankle dorsiflexion causes the knee to flex and the heel to lift off the floor. The goniometer alignment for the gastrocnemius length test in standing position or weight-bearing position is that the fulcrum is in the lateral aspect of the lateral malleolus. Its alignment of the proximal arm is in the lateral midline of the fibula, using the head of the fibula for reference. The distal arm is placed parallel to the lateral aspect of the 5th metatarsal.
The interpretation is if the gastroc is short, it limits ankle dorsiflexion when the knee is in extension. If dorsiflexion is limited regardless of whether the knee is flexed or extended, the limitation is due to abnormalities of the ankle joint surfaces.